Hello friends, AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink, back with more Christmas cards. Still working in a bit of chaos. I mentioned it in my last video. We moved my office to the garage. A long story, not getting into it right now. I had this pile, though, of products set aside because I'd ordered these back in September when they were released. So I wanted to make Christmas cards with them. So I started off with this Triangle Burst 3D embossing folder from Simon. And when I use these embossing folders, I'm using them in either my Spellbinders Platinum or in this case the Platinum 6 die cut machine. And I have the platform and I have 2 metal shims and then my embossing folder with the cardstock. And the little part of this handle, it has nothing to do with the functionality. It likes to pop out, probably because I've been pretty rough on this machine. But anyway, with Simon's embossing folders, it does state on the website, like with each product description, it will give you the info on what type of sandwiches work with the embossing machine you're using, because it varies, and then you got to fiddle. This is what works for me if you don't happen to have 2 metal shims, because most people don't. Like a couple pieces of cardstock work great too. So I embossed the soft navy cardstock with that Triangle Burst embossing folder. And then I'm going to trim it down with my guillotine paper trimmer. And for this, I just took a 1/4 inch off each of the sides so that it'll be smaller than my A2 card front. And I wanted to trim it down before I did any ink blending so I can see like how far the ink's going, everything like that. You could leave it just as is. I really like... There's something about the soft navy color, especially for Christmas cards. It's just perfect. But I wanted to intensify it a bit. So I have the coordinating soft navy ink from Simon Says Stamp, as well as some black ink, and then just a blending brush. And I'm starting with the soft navy ink and just blending that onto these panels, starting from the outside and just kind of pulling the color in. And because I'm using this same ink on the same cardstock, I know that as this ink dries, it's not going to be as intense as I want it, because it's very tone on tone. Like right now it shows up a lot, but that's because the ink is still wet. It hasn't dried yet. So that's why I also pulled out some black ink that I'm just going to use around the very edges, because that will just deepen it up a bit as well. And this is another one of those sort of things when it comes to ink blending that is a good way to do more practice, etc. Because I know people have said like they've struggled. One, blending brushes make a million times. I wish I'd had blending brushes way back when I first started ink blending, because I used to struggle with it. Don't even have the words about how frustrating it used to be and how sore the arm would get trying to, blend with the blending foams. Blending brushes, huge difference. But also working on color cardstock or darker cardstocks, doing things like tone on tone, that helps too. It's the hardest is going on white cardstock with more intense colors of ink and getting that smooth blend. So just kind of work your way up to it. My last video, that's what I did. I did an ombre blend on white cardstock that I had embossed with 3D embossing folders. So I'll have a link to that at the end of this video if you want to check it out or if you missed it. And of course I'm going to add splatter because that is tradition. So I have my Gonzai Tombi Starry Colors palette. I had already added water to the one well, and then I did find my fan brush. So I just swirl that in there and pick up this gold watercolor and end up heavily. So I wasn't planning on adding this much splatter, but then I don't have a light hand with anything when it comes to card making. Like more splatter, more glitter, more bling, more everything. So did a heavy amount of splatter on both of these backgrounds and then set them aside to dry. And then for my main focus on these cards, I'm using Simon's Stylized Holy Star Wafer die. This was part of one of the Christmas kits, one of the limited edition kits that came out back in Stamptember. It's available separately. That kit was sold out long ago. I had ordered this star and the embossing folder separately because I loved them and had them set aside, like I said, to make a card with. So I'll have links to them, but if you'd got that kit, these would have been in it. So I stacked 2 layers of white cardstock that I die cut, and then the top layer is Simon's matte gold cardstock. And I'm using my craft tacky glue that has the metal tip on it. I have a regular craft tacky glue that you can see on screen there. And then I have a bottle that I've screwed on a detail metal tip, and that's what I use for my more detailed die cuts. And I'll have a link to those as well. And then for this word, this is the large Rejoice wafer die. I stacked 2 layers of the second part of this word because it comes in 2 pieces like this. And I took off part of the O on those first 2 layers, and then the top layer I left as is and adhered it because I'm going to adhere this on top of that die cut star that's already stacked. So this is a way to make everything kind of line up almost like a puzzle. You know, it's a little more flush. So I did all that, and then I'd also cut down, this is some Navy Dazzle, I think it was called, cardstock from Tonic. I'll link to a 6x6 pack that has this because I don't think it's even available anymore, but the 6x6 pack has this same cardstock. It's pretty. It's just like a shimmery navy color. So I matted the embossed layer with that. It just gives it a little extra something. And then I'm going to adhere the die cut star to the center of my card here. And then once that's adhered, I can line up those words. There is an outline that comes with that large Rejoice wafer die as well. I didn't use that. I used just the word this time. So that's why I'm going to adhere it in those 2 pieces because that's how it just cuts it out. But if you wanted to not fiddle around as much, you could just adhere it to the outline and then like pop that on top with a little bit of foam tape. That would work great too. So got those adhered with the craft tacky glue. And then all the little dots to the I and the J I have in that little dish there that I had explained on the screen. These are just, they're called pinch bowls. I get asked sometimes when they show up on screen. I have ones that are little cats and I have ones that look like little cupcake liners. They're ceramic. And then I picked up these ones at a local home goods store and they're just super cute, but I use them to hold little die cuts. I use them a lot of times to hold snacks, you know, anything like that. But especially little tiny finicky die cuts like the dots to an eye. If I don't put them in a dish like that, they're gone. They're gone. They walk away. They fall off the desk. You never find them on the floor again. So that's what that's for. So did all of that, got everything adhered. And then my card base is Simon's Heavyweight White Cardstock. And it was cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored at 5 1/2. So this is a top folding A2 size card. And I'm lining up my card bases inside my Misty. And I'm using a sentiment from the CZ Design Good Cheer stamp set. And lined up that sentiment on the inside of the card. And I'm going to stamp that with that same soft navy ink. And just keeping the inside simple. I like sentiments like this that are kind of large. That take up a decent amount on the inside of the card, but not a ton, obviously. So I still have plenty of space to write things on the inside. So once I got those stamped on the insides of the cards, I can now adhere my card fronts to the card bases, and I'm just adhering them as is. I'm not popping it up with foam tape or anything like that because I built up more dimension with the die cuts themselves. If I'd kept the die cuts flat, I probably, like just one layer, I probably would have popped this up with a bit of foam tape because, like Laura Basson says, dimension is life. That is definitely her motto, and I always think that every time I pull out foam tape, it just, her little like song that she does when she does it pops in my head. But for me, it's like splatter is life, bling is life. Anyway, speaking of bling, I had to add some bling. I wasn't gonna, but I did smear some of the gold splatter. It's not super obvious, but it was bugging me. So I cover it with bling because I'm not going to redo nothing. So this is some Studio Caudia Gold Sparkle bling. So it's clear crystals with gold sparkle embedded in them. Love. You guys have seen me use this in like a bajillion videos. It's one of my favorite things of bling. I've purchased multiple packs of this stuff. I just love. And for these cards, it doesn't kind of take away because I've got enough business going on with the splatter anyway. But yeah, super fun. And then I paired these cards with some of Simon's gold envelopes to finish them off. This actually was part of this past week's color throwdown challenge, which is still going on. So I'll have a link to the color throwdown challenge in my blog post, as well as picture links to all the supplies I used in my blog post. I always link to my blog post directly below the video in the description box, so you guys can find it easily. You don't have to like hunt around, nothing like that. Along with the supplies, all of that. All that info is directly below if you are interested. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing, thumbs up and commenting all of it. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.